Right, for Nutrien, Mark Barton, hello. We're getting out and about around the Victorian draft.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, the final leg of the tour it is, isn't it?
It is indeed. We've still got Bathurst. We must make sure before we get on to Duncan McPherson, we have got Bathurst March 30th, Friday week. Saturday week. No, Sunday week. Better start that again. Geez, how good am I going? But Sunday week, but of course coincides with the rich Bathurst Carnival up there as well.
Yeah, well, look, last night was the first heats and there were some terrific horses went round. A couple of graduates from the Nutrien sales that looked pretty impressive too. And we saw a couple of halves sold there last week in Sydney. So it's always exciting to see, the new juveniles starting to go round.
Here at Aldebaran Park, Duncan McPherson, firstly, welcome.
Thanks very much, Paul and Mark. Good to see you at Aldebaran Park again.
A little bit overcast. Yearling videos getting done today. It's a bit happening.
Yeah, I mean, every day's a busy day up here, but Yearling Video Day is one of those days where we get extra troops out here, and they're out doing them at the moment. And if the rain holds off, and we'll have a really good day, and hopefully we can get through them this morning and this afternoon. But ones we've done so far, so good, and if they all behave themselves, it'll be exciting.
We'll say there was a couple of nice little actions there. There's only been 3 go through, so I've been able to see them all, but their actions are beautiful. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's one of the highlights of the year as far as I'm concerned, because it's the first time you really get a good look at their action, and the videos can tell us 1,000 words, and that's what it's all about. We always used to go and watch the videos before we went to the US back in the 07, 08, 09 type period, and we suggested that whenever we do yearling sales over here, we should do what they're doing around the rest of the world, and I think it's paying dividends, and it just means that people in Northern Hemisphere and wherever else they may be can have a look at the quality of the trotting stock that we're producing in the Southern Hemisphere.
The depth in trotters, Bardo, in this sale is amazing. It's grown year on year. I'm not sure how many you had your first year, but you must be blown away by that. And then also international. Pat, Duncan, Haynes, there's so many people introducing international bloodlines, and it's great to sell them.
And look, you're seeing the performance on the track too. Look, we saw a run of Australian horses in New Zealand last season that just proved just how the quality that's here in the Australian, trotting genetics. And I think when you bring international genetics in, also the distance ends, short and longer distances that our horses race, we do have a unique product, and it's a great opportunity. There's only 60 trotters in this catalogue in Melbourne, so it's not a massive catalogue, but it's a quality catalogue of trotting yearlings.
16 being prepared here. Danny and Mel are preparing those, so almost a third of the draft. So we want Duncan, we want to make sure anyone looking at a trotter has to come here.
Yeah, I mean, we've already had a fair few visits from some trainers around in Victoria already, and we've still got, as we were talking earlier, 3.5, 4 weeks to go. So their rugs went on them probably about 10 days ago, and the yearlings are all getting used to that. But it's pleasing to know that Marg Lee and Paddy Lee and all that crew have been through, and Alfred's been through, and Brent Lilly's been up. So it's pretty promising when we get some of the leading trainers coming through this early out to start having a look and making up their minds as to what they want to do. But research is everything, and it's great to see that there's some proactiveness amongst our trainers this early out from the sale.
The other one I was going to talk about, fillies. There's some terrific trotting fillies in this catalogue as well, and you look back in New South Wales and Queensland, there's continuing interest in the trotting gait, but the fillies on offer throughout that catalogue. There's a real opportunity for someone that wants to race, but also to try and increase the depth of their own breeding program.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen one of the fillies, Aldebaran Teal, who we brought home from Sweden. We've seen her dancing in the dark filly trot up already. No coaxing, just did the fence lines and trotted a treat. So, I mean, that's the sort of genetic mark that you're talking about, and she's for sale. I mean, we spoke with Manhammer Stateri up in Sweden, and they're more than happy, and Dancing in the Dark's still here, and we're about making sure that genetic improvements not only at Aldebaran Park, but it's available to most purchasers if they want to come and have a look. But they're once in a lifetime opportunities, and when you get it, you savour it, and that's what it's all about. So we're here to sell, and what's in the sale, if we bring any home, it won't be through lack of trying to try and encourage people to come and buy the horses and the genetics, and I'm sure Pat and others are doing exactly the same thing.
I was recently in New Zealand, so were you. The decline in breeding numbers over there hasn't been replicated with the trotters, and there's a want, Bardo, with a lot of these horses.
Yep.
We saw recently sell. People want these fillies. They want to be able to breed horses on a world-class level, and there's a dead set want for them in New Zealand and worldwide. And the unique bloodlines that we have here in this sale.
I think we're actually, we're blessed to have the quality available, but there genuinely are horses for sale. The other thing which is important, we have pushed back the trotting series for the race series for our sales. Yep. So that's going to be September this year. And anyone looking to buy yearling this year, that will be the same. We've taken that on board. That April is a big ask to get a 2-year-old up for trotting, and we're going to look at that. So it's the back end of the year, for these yearlings this year. So you've got time to get them up and educate a youngster that can race a 2 and 3-year-old for what's significant prize money in the current
Well, it's
market.
the richest individual sex for trotters. So if you want to buy a trotter, you buy out of the Nutrien sale, and it is the richest individual sex race in Australasia, $75,000. So it's just ridiculous, that sort of prize money. We want to make sure people are aware of that. We talk about these fillies. So they're eligible for the same race. They're not taking on the boys. They can get to race each other individually, and that's huge, Bardo. And it's great commitment from everyone.
Well, and again, talk the graduates. The locomotive was named Trotter of the Year in New South Wales here recently. Was one of our very first graduates of the Nutrien series, and we've seen 3 or 4 really standout horses that have come out of these sales that are back on the track and going around now. And there's no doubt in this catalogue there's another one of those that just hasn't showed its head yet, but it's out there to be bought.
Well, the first 2-year-old trot race won in Victoria came out of the Aldebaran Park draft. It was a Nutrien sale horse, which was Aldebaran Tucker. So there's an opportunity there, and congratulations to Mark Hayes and his ownership group. They came and bought the horse last year, and he's up and running, and it's a great advertisement for Nutrien to have that first 2-year-old trot race in Victoria under its belt. And I'm sure that they'll be aiming up for the Nutrien sales series later on in the year, and good luck to them. And Nutrien tick the box; they're on the way.
Yep.
I was going to say, there's a number of these good trotting 2 and 3-year-olds now pushing north into that, particularly the Saturday night racing at Menangle, where there's $20,000 on offer there too. But we're seeing some of these well-bred Victorian trotters have actually ventured north, and we're seeing more and more impact in that New South Wales racing from some of these genetics out of Victoria. Yeah.
Duncan, yourself dancing in the dark M, well represented in your draft. You're backing him.
Oh yeah, you have to. I mean, he's a 49 and 2 stallion in the US. Did it all as a 2, 3, 4-year-old. He's here at this stage for a limited period of time. We'll have him for next season. We've spoken at length in the last 2 weeks to the Manhammerstedt Terrier up in Sweden and to the ownership team up there. We've sent a tank of frozen semen up there. They did a feature on him in the Dutch breeding magazine and the Dutch TV, if you like, and some bookings came out of that. So there's genuine interest in Europe in him, and it's very important that the videos that we're doing here of his progeny will be watched in Europe. And I guess we're showcasing a genetic line that, from a stallion line, being by Redley Express, who's a superstar in Sweden and right throughout Europe. This is his fastest son, and he's here. So, if anyone wants to get into a genetic that is globalised, the Dancing in the Darks are definitely it. And the foals that are in New Zealand, just been over in New Zealand, everyone's delighted with their foals. I've seen a lot of them, and he was reasonably well patronised again over there this year. And these are the first Nutrien have the privilege of selling the first Dancing in the Darks in the world. So let's see how things go.
Yep. Your catalogue at the minute has 14 horses under the Aldebaran Park, but you're actually preparing 2 others for Wyndham Park as well, Wyndham Stud in South Australia. It's a name synonymous in harness racing, and the winners that Jeff and them are able to achieve over there is amazing, and they've got great bloodlines as well. Yeah,
I mean, we've got one for Ashley Haynes, who's RC Phoenix, and we all know he's just been accepted to the slot race over in Cambridge in New Zealand. Jeff Eason I've known for many years through Windown Stud, and he's entrusted us with 2 of his yearlings to come over here and be prepared for the sales, and then we've got 13 of our own. So, 16 is probably one of the larger numbers we've had over the last few years, but Mel and Danny and the team do a fantastic job, and they're looking a picture, and I'm sure when the Nutrien videos are up and going in the next 3 or 4 days or whatever it may take for us to get finally organised. I'm sure everyone will see the good work that Mel and Danny have done, and I'm sure that that'll be reflected in, or hopefully reflected in, on sales day.
Yep.
Bardo, anything else?
No, I think that's the main thing. It's race night for the pacing finals will be on the 9th.
Yep.
And then on the then we come to the Sunday. We'll parade Saturday lunchtime, 12 o'clock.
I'm going to wind you back, because the 12th will be race night.
Sorry.
The 12th will be race night. The 11th will be parade day.
No, 11th is race night. Sorry, 12th will be parade, and 13th will be sale.
Yeah. So around
Friday the 11th.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's going to be a massive week weekend in Melbourne. We want people to get there early. We also want people to get around a lot of these farms and make sure that they're inspecting these horses in their travels as well. Look,
always say it, if you can make an informed decision. You've got we saw a number of horses in the Sydney catalogue where there'd actually been pre-purchase done, had some X-rays, or they'd had some additional information available to those those purchasers, and I think that reflected in a couple of those high sell horses did get that, but that's available to anyone that wants to come and have a look here. Obviously, I know all the vendors stand by their product, and we want people to get in and make an informed buying decision. So the more information you can gather about progeny, or about the genetics in the families, or even if you do want to have a horse pre-purchase, have someone to look over it, it's available to be done.
And the other important part is how much they do develop and change. You and I have seen that with a lot of them. Sometimes we're still 3.5 weeks out from the Melbourne sale. We'll see a lot of these horses change over that journey. I've seen one here today that's already developing a long way. They do change, so it's important to come here and have a look at them. Then give yourself plenty of time at the sales as well, and make sure you get there and inspect them again, because they do change.
And the other thing to Nutrien, the catalogue's online. It's continually updated, so the pedigrees, and thanks to Nutrien, everyone's pedigrees are being updated on a regular basis. And I think, again, that goes back to the informed decisions that people can make, and whether it's in the second dam or the third dam, families are families, and genetics are the most important. So I think that study those catalogues and check out not only our videos but everybody's videos. And if anyone would like to come up to Aldebaran Park over the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're more than welcome. Mel and Danny, their details and phone numbers and contact numbers are either on the Aldebaran Park website or in the catalogue itself.
That's correct, yep.
And, thanks to you, Mark, and the Nutrien team to date, and to Paul, and we wish everybody a fantastic sales day and a great sales experience. And as you've said, with 60 trotters, if you want to buy a trotter, you come to Victoria. It is the home of the trotters. It's globally recognised for producing fantastic progeny, and our free-for-all ranks have never been better. So here's an opportunity to set sail for the free-for-all ranks in 4 or 5 years' time and see how everybody goes.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, thank you. Go to nutrienstandardbred.com.au, nutrienstandardbred.com.au, but I'll make sure it's put in the tag there as well, because it's a new website. All the updates, as Duncan said, are there. They're all in red type. Even those horses, Wyndham will be in under Aldebaran Park, so they can actually see those changes as well.
Importantly, that Alan Parker, that does our pedigrees, he makes sure he doesn't miss anything out of Europe or the States as well. So he's not just southern hemisphere.
No, we're keen on that, because we've got some results that are coming through from Sweden and from America in our pedigrees, and I know they're being done. But well done to Nutrien, and we're hot to trot at Aldebaran Park.